Webinar series, Under the Knife. I'm really excited to have you all join me here on tonight. And before we go ahead and get started, I'd like to first give a huge shout out and show love to Pastor Mark and Ashley Collier, as well as to all of the Freedom Nation family. Also, before we go ahead and get started, I just want to invite you up front to join us every Sunday for our worship service, which starts at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Meet us at 12 p.m. right here on Facebook or YouTube Live. And just like tonight, join us every Thursday at 7:30 p.m. for our weekly Bible study. And again, you can catch our Sunday worship service or our Thursday Bible study right here on Facebook and YouTube Live. And just so you know, you are welcome to become a member and join in on all that we have happening here at Freedom Nation. Listen, as a member, you will have full access to all of our e-groups, men's ministry, women's ministry, couples ministry, entrepreneurship, our life coaching, prayer, courses, and so much more. So now that you have that information, are y'all ready to dive into our last session? We now here. We made it. Week 4 of the Under the Knife webinar series. And yo, shout out to all of y'all who have been rocking for the last couple of weeks this whole time. So listen, family, it's time to get it. So let's get it. Now, over the last 3 weeks of teaching this series, Under the Knife, we have been learning how the mind works and how to renew the mind and ultimately use the power of our subconscious mind to achieve our goals, our dreams, and live the life that God intended for us to live. Now, tonight, we're going to be closing things out, but we're going to close things out discussing the topic of having self-image surgery. That's right, self-image surgery, where we're going to learn how to change and alter our self-image. So a question, how many of you desire positive change right now? I'll tell you one thing, I know I do. Look, I could use some positive change right now. And here's the thing. Here's one thing for sure. Things do not change because of time. Things change in time because of change, right? So that means it's important that we use our time wisely to what? To change. So look, to change the results you are getting out of your life, you must understand that change first starts with what? Renewing your mind. Now, I'm sure you have heard it many times or been told to be transformed by the renewing of your mind so many times. It's common to be told to hear that we have to reprogram our way of thinking to experience transformation and change in our life, right? But rarely do we get or hear or get taught how to renew our minds. So to renew the mind, we have to understand how the mind actually works. So let's grab an understanding of how the mind works. The mind is the element of a person that enables them to be aware of the world and their experiences, to think, to feel, the faculty of consciousness and thought. The mind has two parts. You have your conscious mind and you have your subconscious mind. The conscious mind is the thinking and educational mind that holds all of your intellectual faculties, which are imagination, memory, reason, perception, intuition, and will, right? It is with the conscious mind where you have the ability to choose by accepting or rejecting an idea or a thought. Now, the subconscious mind holds all your emotions, lifelong memories, and habits, which is known as the paradigm. Our behavior is controlled not by our conscious mind, but by our subconscious mind. The paradigm in our subconscious mind is a multitude of habits that control our behavior. So, if we want to change our lives or the type of results that we are manifesting out of our life, right, we must reprogram the paradigm or the subconscious mind. See, the subconscious mind is very, very powerful, but at the same time, it's very, very vulnerable. And I want to give you a few more commonly known facts for you to know about how your subconscious mind works. Ready? All right, number one, your subconscious mind, it never turns off, and it is always listening and recording what it hears and what you are saying. Number two, it is always recording your memories as movies along with your experiences. 3, it only understands the now, the present. This is big because this is why it is highly important to see yourself already living how you want to live. See yourself already accomplishing your goals. See yourself living your dreams. Next, peep this. and this is big, your subconscious mind controls 95% of your life. 95% of your life. Your subconscious mind is the heart of who you are. Hear me. Look, your subconscious mind is the heart of who you are. And Proverbs chapter 23, verse 7, it states that, for as he thinks within himself, so is he. So, for as a man or woman thinks within his or her heart, so is he or she. Family, you literally are what you think. And here's the thing. Your subconscious mind does not have the ability to think or reason independently as your conscious mind can do. Your subconscious receives whatever information is given to it, and it just obeys the commands it receives from the conscious mind. Alright? It has no ability to choose, and it accepts whatever is given to it by the conscious mind. Many of us have stopped using our imagination in a positive way. You know what I'm saying? So, instead of getting taught how to use our imagination when we was in grade school, we get taught to stop using it. And then as we get older, using your imagination, you know what it seems? It seems like it's childish. It also gets hard to use your imagination after allowing ourselves to be conditioned by life circumstances and life's responsibilities as adults. But I dare you to begin to get back to having a childlike faith and begin using your imagination. Don't you know, to get what you want out of life, you have to see it before you see it. You have to see it before you see it today. Otherwise, you won't give yourself the opportunity to achieve it in your tomorrow. So check it out. The secret to having what you desire is seeing and believing you already have it. Because power is enabled the moment you attach your faith to what you imagine. Listen, this being said, how do you see or view yourself? I'm not talking about how do you see yourself physically in a mirror, but how do you see yourself mentally? Why is this important? If the secret to having what you desire is seeing and believing you already have it, you must also choose to use the power of your imagination and see yourself as the person of how you desire to be. So if you have a particular dream or a goal or a certain change that you want, see yourself already living and having that success. As you use your imagination, the change, goals, and dreams that you have, it's going to at times seem impossible to give birth to. But you have to remember that all things are possible to those who believe. So the thoughts you choose to focus on develops a pattern in your way of thinking and how you perceive life. It is the subconscious mind that you want to reprogram, because that is where all your habits are stored at. Now, the job of the subconscious mind is to steadily work to have your behavior fit that consistent pattern of your emotionalized thoughts, beliefs, and desires. And again, your subconscious mind is the heart of who you are. For as a man or woman thinks within his or her heart, so is he or she. Your behaviors reflect what is really engraved within your heart, which is the subconscious mind. Therefore, if you are a product of how you think within your heart, and you are not pleased with the results manifesting in your life, it is now time for you to do what? Have a heart transplant. So this brings us to the theme title of this entire series, where we must go under the knife to have a change of heart in the way that we choose to think. Woo! I hope y'all caught that. Did you catch that? Look, so how do we actually go under the knife, and how do we actually undergo a mental heart transplant and reprogram the subconscious mind? I'm glad you asked. Look, the subconscious mind is able to be reprogrammed through the repetition of creating new ideas, beliefs, and habits. It learns through repetition. Look, the Bible says this: be transformed by the renewing of your mind. It does not say be transformed by a renewed mind. In other words, you must continually renew your mind. See, it is through renewing your mind where you create a new and positive self-image of yourself. Your self-image is something that has been developed when you were an infant, before you even had the ability to think for yourself. See, when you were born and as an infant, your intellectual faculties were not developed yet. As an infant, all you had was your subconscious mind. And again, The subconscious mind has no ability to reason or choose. Instead, it receives whatever is given to it. All right? Now watch this. A majority of your beliefs were given to you as an infant. As we grow up, you know what we do? We never take a moment to analyze the beliefs we have about ourselves or how we perceive life, which is a huge reason why there are so many who abide in ignorance. Now, in all our getting, we must get understanding. Self-image is how we perceive ourselves. You have the ability to see a reflection of yourself when you look into the mirror, but you know what? That is seeing your physical body. You know what I mean? Like, seeing yourself in the reflection of a mirror is not how you truly see yourself. The real self-image you have of yourself is in your mind. In Genesis chapter 1, verse 27, it lets us know that God created man in his own image, and in the image of God, he created him. Male, female, he created them, right? You have literally been created in the image of God. See, let me break this down to you. Just as we have God, we also have an enemy, the devil. Now check this out. There was a point when the devil, or Satan, was like God's right-hand man, right? But see, he began to develop a high level of pride to where he thought he was bigger than God. He was feeling himself, right? To the point that he even stated in Isaiah chapter 14, verse 14, like, this fool had the nerve to say, I will ascend above the heights of the clouds, and I will make myself like the Most High. Like, in his mind, he wanted to be God. But peep this. Satan mentioned, I will make myself like the Most High. So after God kicked him out of heaven for his pride and just wilding all the way out, God goes ahead and guess what he does? God is such a boss. Watch what he do. He goes and he creates us in the image of what Satan wants to be like. The Most High God. That's crazy, right? So watch this. So now watch this. Now we have Satan hating on us because we are a constant reminder of not only what he once had access to, not only the gifts, talents, and abilities of God, but also a constant reminder of the image of God. Hence, why the enemy hates you, why he fights you so hard, and why he just absolutely can't stand you. But since he can't do anything about the image that we have been created in, he then strives to attack what? Your self-image, which is how you choose to see yourself. See, he can't do anything about the image you've been created in, but he can attempt to get you to self-sabotage how you see yourself. Look, our self-image is based on the information that we have about ourselves. But unfortunately, some people have false information about how they see themselves. And as a result, you know, having a false, if we see ourselves in a wrong light, now we have wrong information about ourselves. And now watch this. In our brains, we have a cybernetic mechanism known as a psycho-cybernetic mechanism. A cybernetic mechanism is how a system operates automatically. See, cybernetics is the science of communications and automatic control system in both machines and living things. Cybernetics measures deviation from a set goal, sends information to a coordinating mechanism that will correct the output and be placed back on course of the set goal. So let me give you an example of what all that means. A thermostat is a cybernetic mechanism. Okay. Now let's say it's a little cold in your home and you set the thermostat at 75 degrees. The goal of your thermostat has been set and will set the room temperature to 75 degrees in the home. All right. Now, let's say after a while it gets a little too warm in the house and you decide to go ahead and crack open the window. Now, due to the window being cracked open, the room temperature will drop to, let's say, from 75 to now 70 degrees because of the cracked window. Now, although the temperature in the room has dropped to about 70 degrees from the window being cracked open, the thermostat will measure the deviation, which was once set at 75 degrees. It was set at 75 degrees. That's what it's set at. Then it will send a message to the furnace and automatically the heater will begin to heat up and the temperature will rise from 70 degrees to go all the way back to what its original goal is set at, which is 75 degrees. Now, this happens automatically caused by a cybernetic mechanism. Look, you have a cybernetic mechanism inside of you as well. So what does this all have to do with self-image? A whole lot. Look, your self-image is locked in your subconscious mind, okay? And your self-image operates as a cybernetic instrument. If you have a self-image of yourself, like let's just say your self-image is you have a being overweight, right? Your conscious mind, you can make, with your conscious mind, you can decide, I'm gonna lose weight. You can take immediate action and begin choosing to work out, go on a diet. You can actually reach and achieve your goal of losing weight. But if your self-image, which is in your subconscious mind, has not been altered, the goal that was reached is temporary. See, the reason why the weight loss will be temporary is because your self-image of being a cybernetic instrument will measure the deviation, and it'll say, oh wait, we ain't used to being this thin, or we not used to being this in shape, and it will automatically correct the output and put you back on how you see yourself, which is going back to being overweight. See, as a result, look, the weight that you once lost will all be gained back. And the reason why someone can have a goal and achieve the goal of losing weight and then gain it all back is because consciously they set a goal, but they fail to alter their self-image subconsciously. Success of any goal can be reached and most importantly kept once the goal we set using our conscious mind is in harmony with our subconscious mind. So when it comes to our self-image, how we see ourselves subconsciously, look, it's important that we have to see ourselves the way God created and called us to be, and not see ourselves with the lies of what the enemy tries to tell us. We can't go off of the irrelevant negative opinions of others, or the fears that people have imposed onto us, or try to tell us what we can or cannot do. Like, look, when it comes to the topic of self-image, there is something very important for you to know, and it is this. It is not who you are that holds you back. It's who you think you're not. It's not who you are that holds you back. It's who you think you're not. Most people don't have positive change because they don't think they deserve it. Most people don't live the life or the dreams that they desire because they don't think that they can or they deserve it. Most people don't achieve their goals and their dreams or be their own boss because they don't think that they can be a boss. But watch this. If you could just be like Thomas the Train and be on that, I think I can, I think I can, I think I can. Listen, and you attach your faith to what you think you can do, and you allow God to circumcise your heart, go under the knife, and he do a circumcision of the heart and cut out the lies of the enemy, cut out the lies of the negative opinions of others, and cut out the lies you told yourself, cut out the false belief system you have about yourself, and cut out that fear, and cut out that doubt. See, the devil is a liar. Like, look, and you must know this. You must know that it is your faith that has the ability to move mountains. But let me tell you something. It is your doubts that has the ability to create mountains. Yep. Look, but watch this. But when you know who you are and you allow God to transform you through renewing your mind and how you see yourself, you will use the power of your faith to doubt your doubts. That's right. Before you doubt, you have to, you will have the ability to use your faith to doubt your doubt. See, self-doubt is a choice, and you can either choose to doubt or you can choose to doubt your doubts. All right. Now, fear is going to arise in your life. But when you know who you are, when you walk in the self-image of how God created you, you will know that fear is caused by ignorance, just simply not knowing, and choosing to worry and doubt. But when you know who you are, and you not just know who you are, but you know whose you are, you will no longer use your conscious mind by choosing to worry or doubt. See, anytime you choose to worry or doubt due to ignorance or just not knowing something to a minimum of 21 days, you impress fear into your subconscious mind. But again, when you know who you are and you know whose you are, right, you will choose not to worry. When you know who and whose you are, you will choose not to doubt. And as a result, you will replace choosing to worry and doubt with confidence. And instead of impressing fear into your subconscious mind, you know what you're going to do? You will grow faith into your subconscious mind, which is the heart of who you are. But you know what? It's not just fear and doubt that holds us back. It's also our past. And the enemy will try to dress up your self-image in the past of what you did, who you were, and what other people did to you, and not in what God has brought and called you out of. So what you must do, you must also let the dead bury the dead. So look, you were not created to only exist. You were created to live, and you were created to be great. And one of the main reasons why many people fail to live and tap into their greatness is because they are bound by their past. It's very difficult and just about impossible to live with the past still existing in your present. See, every day you wake up is an opportunity for a fresh start. The catch is you have to let today be the start of something new. You will never be able to turn to a new page in your book, right, if you keep reading over the same page, right? Now watch this. One of life's greatest obstacles to overcome is the past. See, people say it all the time. The past is the past. They say it, but a lot of people have a hard time or a difficult time actually believing it and accepting it. See, everyone on the planet has a past, and not everyone is proud of their past. I sure ain't, you know what I mean? But listen, I'm sure that we all got something that we wish that we could remove, forget, or something that, you know, we wish we could Photoshop up out of here. But you know what? Listen, we have to learn how to be able to let go of our failures, let go of our mistakes and the bad decisions that we have made. You know what I mean? Like, your past is non-existent. It's gone. And the reason why your past may still linger around is only because you choose to allow it. And we haven't went under the knife to cut it up out of here. You know what I'm saying? Like, it cannot be photoshopped, changed, edited, or forgotten. All it can do is be accepted. And I know what it's like to spend most of my time dwelling on the past for years. Like, I would think about that one thing that I did. I would think about that one thing I did that I regret, you know, or I would keep replaying what that one person did to me. Eventually, I would find myself overdosing on how I could possibly fix or redo something that I could never change. And I became stuck, stepping backward and over-analyzing instead of moving forward and overcoming. The past is like a disease that can eat away at your present and your future. That is, if you let it. So do me a favor. Keep in mind that the past is irrelevant to God. And if it is irrelevant to Him, it should also be irrelevant to you. If there are any, write down the things that have been done to you by others that you will let go of and bury so that you can finally live free. And if there are any, write down your mistakes and your failures that you are now going to let go of and bury so that you can live and finally be free. Like, watch this. In the year 1999, there was a hit movie called The Sixth Sense, right? And the movie became really well known for this famous line of this little boy saying, "I see dead people." And if we were to open up our eyes and look around, we also would see dead people. What am I saying? There are so many people focused on their past, which is dead, that they're not living. And the past is nothing besides dead weight on your shoulders. And if you are ready to grab hold of your better days, you must be absolutely determined to let go of your past and be willing to go under the knife and allow God to do a circumcision of your heart. You know what I'm saying? See, if there are any, write down the dead weight that has been weighing on your shoulders, that you are now ready to drop, bury, and bury once and for all. One day while I was driving at night, I was on a road with like no cars around, right? And although this is going to sound real crazy, I had turned off my headlights just for a split second because I just wanted to see how dark it really was. And then I looked back and I got a glimpse of how dark it truly was. Now, I quickly turned on my headlights and I became extremely confident to continue driving forward, being guided by the light. Without the light, the darkness overwhelmed me. The past is a very dark place. It is a dead place. And I challenge you to give the heavy burden of your past to God, and He will give you a lighted pathway to your better days. Listen, begin to look at your life through the windshield and not the rearview mirror. See, in the midst of darkness, let God be your headlights. See, if I were to have kept looking back while I was driving, you know what's going to happen? I'm going to end up crashing, be all jacked up. So look, if you are going to look back, like in your life, only look back to see how far you've come. Like, drop your past and let it be what it is, the past. Now look forward to your better days and say hello to your future. You know what I'm saying? So look, real quick, I have 3 simple things that I want you to do. Number 1, I want you to cut out the list of things that you wrote down from your past that you said you are ready to bury. All right. Number 2, I want you to crumble up the list of the things that you wrote down from your past. Number 3, I want you to drop the crumbled list of things you wrote down from your past into the trash. I know you're like, what? It's real simple, right? But watch this. I got these 3 simple things that I mentioned to do are very simple, but they all serve with a huge purpose. Number 1, check this out. The purpose of cutting the list of things you wrote down is to represent you cutting ties between you and the past that has attempted to hold you back. Number 2, the purpose of you crumbling the list of things you wrote down from your past is to show the fact that you are stronger than your past. You are stronger than the thing that tried to break you. Remember this, strength does not come from what you know you can overcome. Strength comes from what you thought you couldn't overcome. And I know that you went through something that you didn't think you would overcome, but guess what? You crumbled it. And 3, the reason why I simply want you to drop the crumbled list of things you wrote down into the trash is because when paper is thrown in the trash, it gets sent to a recycling plant to be recycled for better use. Throwing your list into the trash signifies that your hurt, your pain, and disappointment is now ready to be recycled for better use. Look, in other words, you are ready to recycle your pain into purpose. Now, as you let the dead bury the dead, the next thing you have to do is be sure to walk in your greatness. All right, come on. It's time for you to walk in your greatness. Like, do me a huge favor and choose to be great. You know why? Because you are great. To be great is to have the ability or quality to be above normal or above average, right? In order to see yourself as great, you have to know that greatness is already within you. See, there are talents and abilities that you have that others can do, but listen, baby, there is no one that could do you like you. Like, you know what I'm saying? You are a unique being. That being said, you are already above average. You are great. Don't wait for the world to recognize your greatness. Just go ahead and be great and let the world catch up to you. Like, the reason why I say that all this because you must choose to walk in your greatness and not walk in the irrelevant opinions of others. When you start seeing your worth, you'll stop hanging around people who don't. And when you truly learn your worth, you will stop giving people discounts. See, you have to be sure that as you go to walk in your greatness, that you surround yourself around others who are great. You want to make sure that you get into an environment where you can be celebrated. That's why I love my Freedom Nation family, because we celebrate one another. We celebrate each other. And you got to avoid getting in environments where you are tolerated. Get where you are celebrated, not where you are tolerated. You know what I'm saying? See, there's people who want to see you do well, but really they don't want to see you do or be better than them. And so you got to see yourself as an eagle and flap your wings and soar to new heights and stop kicking it with these pigeons. You feel me? You know what I'm saying? So look, surround yourself with positive influences and positive people. You know what I mean? My man Nipsey Hussle, he once said, like, look, if you look at the people in your circle and you don't get inspired, then you don't have a circle, you have a cage. You know what I'm saying? So question, what things do you believe influence you the most in your life? And who are the people that have a major influence in your life? Because what I want you to do is I want you to take a moment and begin to, just like you got to do a circumcision of your heart, you know what I'm saying? You got to cut ties with things that your heart, that you're allowed, like has a heart, like quote unquote has a heart for, if that makes sense. You know what I'm saying? And so you got to cut ties with a lot of things. You know what I mean? And so going under the knife is not an easy process to do. But with God as our surgeon, oh yeah, he not gonna mess up. It might hurt and it might be painful, but guess what? We gonna get through it. You know what I'm saying? So Lord, you're gonna have to do what you gotta do and put me under the knife, circumcise my heart, renew my way of thinking. You know what I'm saying? Help me to see myself as you see me. You know what I mean? And so, y'all, let's get it. So look, family, that concludes week 4 of the Freedom Nation Under the Knife webinar series. And if you joined in late or may have missed anything, you can definitely catch the replay of this session at freedomnationlive.com or catch us on YouTube or check out some of the replays to catch up on the whole series. Now, family, if you're ready to take things to the next level or would like to dive deeper, look, I encourage you to book a session with one of our life coaches at freedomnationlive.com. And look, family, I just want to say thank you so much for taking the time to tune in and rock with me tonight. I hope that you all have a great and amazing week. I love you all. Much love to you. Many blessings. It's your man, Kevin L. Knox, signing off.